One of the hottest topics this week is about tariffs and how it impacts the auto industry. Now, there are tariffs going to be placed supposedly on Mexico. Now, we've heard about this on the news, but I'm going to break it down and give you some real facts. If you want to hear more, stay right with us. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lauren Fix, and this is 4 Minute Friday, and here's what's going on in your automotive world. This week's segment is brought to you by RealWish.com. The hot topic this week is tariffs on the Mexico border and how it impacts the automotive industry. I'd like to give you some foundational points so that you know. There's $93 billion of impact to Mexico on the automotive industry on the border. Why is that? Well, because parts go back and forth. Parts like tires and components are built in Mexico. They come to the U.S., they're put into other components, then shipped back, or vice versa. Tires are built here in the U.S., they go to Mexico, and then they're shipped back across with cars, sometimes up to 20 times. That's not very common, but little washers and bolts, if you start thinking about it, what it takes to build a vehicle, that's part of why it's getting to be so expensive. Now, of course, first thing you're hearing on the news, and I don't care what outlet you listen to, they're all saying, oh my God, this is horrible. The reason the tariff is put in place is to try to convince the Mexican government to do something they're not doing. I'm not going to get into the political aspect of that because that's not what I cover. I just cover automotive. So I want to talk to you about a few talking points and how it impacts us. I should let you know that I did discuss this on Fox Business with Charles Payne. I also discussed this on multiple international news outlets. I'm also in Yahoo Finance discussing this. So I am the go-to person when it comes to the impact on this, and I do want to bring you the facts so that no one's getting upset and freaking out. Go buy a vehicle now. There are some great deals, obviously, because it's the end of the model year, but how is this going to impact us down the road? Well, the 5% tariff that's supposedly going to be put in place June 5th, and we'll see if that actually happens, is a pushing point to get Mexico to come to the table to talk to the U.S. government about what they want. Again, I'm not going to cover that subject matter. That's not what I cover. How is it going to impact the auto industry if that 5% tariff goes in play? And then as it keeps building to 25% by October, how does that affect you? Now, I've had some people say to me, oh, that doesn't affect us. It only affects Mexico because they're paying the tariff. True. But the companies are not going to absorb that full percentage. At some point, they're going to have to push that on to the consumer, and you're the consumer. So let's talk about some of the facts. Initially, stocks were impacted by this statement that the president put out, and stocks dropped, but the market came back. Why? Because someone from Mexico is meeting with executives in the federal government. So that's kind of what they wanted. So they got what they wanted at that point. But what about all the other factors? In the past, we had NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, where items would go back and forth across the border. And a lot of manufacturers started producing cars in Mexico because the labor costs were so low, which kept the price of costs low to you. However, that also increased their profit margins, and that's what they're really looking for. Hey, they're companies, it's capitalism, they're in business to make money. So now with the USMCA, that's already been signed by Canada, has to be signed by Mexico, and they haven't passed it through the House or the Senate yet. So this gives them a little bit of leverage, or arm twisting, you might want to call it, to get Mexico to do what they want. Unfortunately, this does impact us because even though Mexico is paying the tariff, manufacturers are the ones who are going to be paying the price, which is going to come down to you. I will let you know, manufacturers are not going to pass along that full 25% to you. They're going to absorb some of it, and a lot of it you can get in incentives. If you were to add 5% on top of the cost of a current car, you may not even notice the difference, depending upon, of course, what you're buying. If you're buying a Bentley, I don't think you care one way or the other. But if you're buying a Kia, you might care because it might impact the bottom line. And it's not going to impact every single thing. The big concern is if it does go to 25%, if the tariff does move to 25%, it's going to impact the auto industry as a whole, not just the industry and manufacturing, but all those companies that are around it. And I discussed that on all the national and international news outlets. So that could impact other avenues of the automotive industry, because about half of the Dow Jones is impacted by the auto industry. So that's why you're seeing the stocks close down today. I will tell you, however, that there's a lot of sub-companies such as Goodyear Tire, Delphi, and I got Visteon, Magna, Lear. They produce product also in Mexico. And so that could impact component parts. What is that going to impact? Marketing firms, accounting firms. It's going to impact catering companies, experiential marketing companies, fleet maintenance companies, and you name it, because half of the Dow Jones is impacted by the auto industry. So before everyone freaks out, let's see what happens. If you're looking to buy a car, great deals are available today, but I wanted to bring you some of the facts because it's so easy to get on the news and hear everybody jumping up and down and everybody's horrible and nothing's going to change and the prices are going to go up. Let's see what truly happens. The vehicles that will be most impacted by this will be General Motors pickup trucks, the Silverado and the Sierra, and also the Ram pickup truck. These are the most profitable vehicles these companies have. Additionally, the Toyota Tacoma, the Nissan Versa, Sentra, and the Volkswagen Jetta and the Mazda 3 are going to be impacted because they're built there. Audi also builds vehicles there. BMW is in the middle of building a plant there. So when you start thinking about all the manufacturers and why they're moving to Mexico is they're avoiding unions, which I understand because it has to do with dollars and cents and retirement plans, but it also has to do with profit margins. So let's see how this goes. My guess is Mexico is going to fold like a lawn chair. I hope I'm right. If I am right, you can put comments down below. She was right. And if I'm wrong, you can say you have no clue, but you're going to say what you want. Anyhow, I do love your comments. If you're looking to buy a vehicle, and now is a great time to buy one, check out wheelwish.com. It'll save you time and save you money. You go online, you sign up for free. If you decide to buy a vehicle, you put your deposit down, which is a very small deposit. They send out requests to the brands that you're looking for, and the first one to say, I'll do the deal, you've got a deal. Anywhere in the country, they'll deliver the vehicle to you, and they've delivered a lot of vehicles to customers who are very happy because they save a lot of money. So check out wheelwish.com. Check out the descriptions and the links down below. Of course, you can add your comments. You can see what we've recently posted here and some suggestions, and of course, all our social media is down below. Feel free to share or like, and we do appreciate your comments. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.